What's up everyone, I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around. Today we're going to talk about your motorcycle camping kitchen setup, so stay tuned. What's up everyone, so today we're hanging out in the Salton Sea. We're on the North Shore. We just camped out last night. Beautiful spot with this awesome sea behind us. This is a really beautiful and strange part of California that a lot of people don't seem to know about. I'm actually going to be coming back here in a couple weekends just to do a whole video on this area. You know, Slab City and Salvation Mountain and all of that down south, Bombay Beach. Really cool area. Like I said, we're going to get back to that in a couple weeks. So we just woke up about an hour ago. It's time to make breakfast, and I figured I'd throw together a quick video about my motorcycle camping kitchen setup. And here it is. This is basically everything I need to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So jumping right into this, we have some water. So I know in another video I've actually talked about bringing refillable water bottles. That is the 5 tips on how to save money on a motorcycle trip. Make sure you check that video out if you haven't seen it. A lot of good tips in there, 5 of them actually. One of my tips was to carry refillable water bottles. This just happened to be a shorter trip, so I didn't feel like strapping them to the bike. But you are gonna need some water. Now, usually in the morning, it's early, I'm tired. All I can really handle doing is boiling some water for coffee so I don't get too crazy in the morning. Now here I have a few fuel canisters. The stove I have actually will cook on any fuel, but it's just easier to use these, and I carry an extra one too so I never run out. So in here I have my pots and pans. I actually bought a whole set of pots and pans, and then over the last couple of years I've just started taking things out that I wasn't using. Now I've got it down to 1 pot to boil water in. And that's this one here. So I got 1 pot to boil water in, and then I carry 1 extra pot. This is my stove right here. We'll get to that in 1 second. I also have a couple bowls. I prefer the plastic ones. They're obviously a little bigger than those rubberized ones that kind of pop into shape. They just kind of look like a Frisbee. But I like these because they're a lot lighter and they do fit right in this pot, which I can't do anything to make this pot smaller, so anything I can put in there that fits, pretty good. So definitely good to have some bowls. I have an extra one in case I have guests or I break one. That way I always have one. Inside here, I have my frying pan, just in case I want to make some bacon, something like that. Now, in here, I have everything else. Now, I just realized one thing I don't have with me is my cutting board. I have a small cutting board that's about that big. I don't have that with me today because this isn't really a long trip, like I said. One thing I have in here is a small towel, just for drying dishes. If I wash my hands before cooking or anything like that, it's good to have a little towel so you're not just burning through paper towels or having to remember to carry them. Plus, it dries out really easy. Also got a can opener, a couple of mugs. Now I stuff these with oatmeal in one and hot chocolate in another. Again, I have 2 of these in case I have guests or something breaks. Now I had these cooking utensils. They were a little big. They didn't fit in my bag, and I actually managed to shave a few ounces off of this whole setup by cutting the ends off. So this one also, it has these holes in it, which is nice. I can use this basically as a strainer. So it's dual purpose. Definitely a big fan of that. And it's a good idea too to have one that you can, you know, if you're making soup or something that doesn't have holes in it. I got some coffee packets, instant coffee. These are really good. I'm gonna do a video talking about the different coffee options you have when you're motorcycle camping. This is probably one of my favorite ones though. Get into that in another video though. I also have some stress relief kava tea, which is really nice. You've been on the bike all day and you want to relax a little bit at camp. It's a nice tea to have, help you sleep a little bit. I carry a longer lighter with me because my stove is a little aggressive. You don't want your hands too close to it when you're lighting it, so it's a good idea to have a longer lighter with you if you have a stove like mine. I also have a sponge for doing dishes. I have some eating utensils. I went with the plastic ones because, like I said, they're lighter. You know, and it's nice to not have to use disposable ones all the time where you're constantly throwing out, you know, plastic forks and knives. So these are a good idea to have. Also, you know, I'll link to most of this stuff in the description box below if you guys want to check any of this stuff out. So this I picked up at probably a hotel, I would guess. This is basically some sugar and some creamer for coffee. I'm always kind of picking stuff like this up whenever I'm on a trip. If I stay at a hotel and they have condiments or sugar packets, creamer packets, anything like that, I'll just pick them up and throw them in this bag so I have them for later. I got one knife just for cooking. I don't use this for anything but cooking. That way I know it's always sanitary and clean. And I keep it inside this so that it doesn't cut through the bag. This is actually a wind protector for the stove. Now I also have some hand sanitizer in a little bag so that if it breaks open, it doesn't go all over everything. Obviously a good idea to carry this so you can clean your hands up before you start cooking. So bring some hand sanitizer and some dish soap for when I'm doing the dishes. I just put this in a small little container. There's no reason to bring a big whole thing. You know, this is probably enough for 2 months of traveling, if not more. So this is really all you need. Put that in a plastic bag too so it doesn't go everywhere. All right, so this is my stove. This is the Optimus stove. Now, the reason I bought this, and I actually bought it a few years ago, so it may be outdated at this point. The reason I bought this was because it would burn any fuel. And at the time, and still currently, I'm planning on doing a lot of traveling on my bike outside of the United States where finding these propane canisters might not be so easy. So I wanted something I could burn regular, you know, motorcycle fuel on, or kerosene. Pretty much anything that'll burn you can use with this stove. So that's why I bought this. It was also really small. I know now they actually have some smaller versions of this, but this stove is obviously not the most stealthy stove, so if you're camping somewhere where you're not supposed to be, or you're just trying to be quiet and not disturb people, this might not be the best stove for you. I've definitely been in situations where I couldn't even cook because I was camping somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, and this is just way too noisy. But so while this water is boiling, I'm going to get some breakfast ready. What I usually do for breakfast on the road is oatmeal. It's cheap, it packs really small, and all you have to do is add water to it. So all right, we got hot water. So what's nice too is now you have some hot water, and you got your breakfast and your coffee. I usually like to save just a little bit so I can splash a little hot water on my face in the morning. Another reason to have that towel with you. Just feels good, makes you feel like a human again after you've been sleeping on the ground all night. So that's my motorcycle camping kitchen setup. Hopefully you guys get something out of this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already. Maybe you guys are new to my channel, or if you have been watching, thanks for all the awesome comments and thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.